The Fear Street film series began with a trilogy that was released consecutively in the summer of 2021. The initial reactions were that the films honored the source material, were funny flashes of the past, and had a goofy, yet stylish appeal. I found the release strategy to be strange, especially when trying to cultivate a strong cult-like following for a fledgling slasher franchise. To Netflix's credit, it seemed to work. Fear Street, 1994 and 1978 were understood to be the best of the trilogy because their retro, nostalgic atmosphere offered something for classic slasher fans to truly enjoy. Slashers today are coming back into fashion with reboots and remakes, so here comes Fear Street, Prom Queen adding fuel to the fire. Aside from wondering if the film lives up to the hype or not, my main question is why this wasn't titled Fear Street, 1988? We certainly didn't need Prom Queen as the title when the term is said a million times alongside the F-word. Fear Street, Prom Queen is for lovers of teen slashers. Fear Street, Prom Queen follows the students of Shadyside High as they prepare for their prom. A fierce rivalry develops among the school's girls as they vie for the title of Prom Queen. However, a sinister plot begins to unravel as the candidates get picked off one by a mysterious masked and cloaked figure. Honestly, if you aren't a fan of 80s slashers, then Prom Queen won't be your cup of tea. The acting is subpar and goofy. The costumes and makeup are somewhat adequate, a meager imitation of the era the movie is set in. The kills are fairly boring but fun in the "that's how they used to look" kind of way. Overall, the movie is very silly and the motivations of the killings are equally so, but that is hardly a knock against a movie that honors the slashers of that era. Fear Street, Prom Queen doesn't quite rise to the occasion despite being entertaining. The casting is a minor issue here as the choices telegraph how things are going to go. I knew that rising star Ariana Greenblatt is the celebrity bait of the film. She's the most recognizable cast member aside from the adults and the one who will seemingly, and inevitably, bite the dust first. It's not so much of a spoiler considering this trick has played out over and over since the Drew Barrymore fake-out in 1996 Scream. India Fowler is a decent enough lead as Laurie Granger, but there is little about her character or her portrayal that draws me to her, despite Laurie being the typical, final girl. As Tiffany Falconer, Fina Strasser's mean girl act is equally unconvincing. She brings to mind many of the more effective archetypes. The older cast do well enough in their respective roles, particularly Chris Klein and Catherine Waterson, as Dan and Nancy Falconer, respectively, who go big with their efforts. It suits the nostalgia-driven narrative. For a slasher film, the kills are not the most inventive, but they suit the story, setting, and place. This isn't a Final Destination film where the deaths are meant to be random and unpredictable. The predictability of this subgenre is what mostly drives it, and it is hardly a thing worth getting upset about. The overall cinematography and design support the kills as they evoke nostalgia for past slashers. It is very bloody but in a sterilized, acceptable kind of way, not the realistic and traumatizing way 80s slashers were more inclined to do. All in all, Fear Street, Prom Queen doesn't quite meet the bar set by 1994 and 1978. Perhaps the excitement of having the world of R.L. Stine's Fear Street be realized made it seem these films were better than they are, or this latest entry is simply not as good. Regardless, there is enjoyment to be had. The characters are poorly drawn, but the archetypes are entertaining enough. The kills aren't spectacular, but they come around exactly at the right time to keep the momentum going. The performances are not groundbreaking, but they are adequate in making an entertaining film that at least captures the essence of Stine's writing. Fear Street, Prom Queen will play well with those who enjoy these films and will continue to show up for Netflix's slasher franchise.